Here we are in Fergus for a Father's Day battle between, in Wilmot, between the Fergus Thistles and Wilmot Wild. There's a long storied rivalry between these two clubs, and today we're expecting nothing less but that. Fergus is sitting fourth in the West Division, while Wilmot, with yesterday's victory over Six Nations, secured first place. So we're up for a fantastic day of lacrosse on a blistery 33-degree day here in Wilmot Township. As the anthem wraps up, we see the players hitting the bench, and we are going to be ready for some Ontario Junior C lacrosse action coming up. Fergus is boasting two members in the top 10 in the province for scoring, so they bring a high-octane offense. I think the keys for the game, brought to you by Jukasa Motor Speedway for the Wild, will be to stay disciplined like they did yesterday versus Six Nations and keep that offense moving. Last time versus Fergus, they kind of stumbled with only scoring 6 goals. We'll see if they can succumb that. Fergus gets possession off a scattered face-off. Move the ball up the floor. Fitton coming in to pick it up in the back wall. He missed that. Ooh, and we have a crease violation. Number 6, Justin stepped into the crease. Possession goes to the Wild. And the captain, Leibold, works the ball up the floor, passes off to Finoro. Finoro carries it into the corner, back up to Verutis. Nagy couldn't handle the pass. Back to Finoro's shot, big save, nice save by Noah Nixon for the Fergus Thistles. Wild moving the ball nicely around the floor over to Verutis, who just out of reach, and into Noah Nixon's stick. Possession to Fergus. They're moving the ball up the floor with some speed. As we're waiting for the rest of the offense to hit the floor for Fergus, they're keeping the ball up on the top. That's Logan Cameron. And a shot clock violation. Randy Borges bringing the ball up now, moving over to Bessie. This second line for the Wild have been dangerous. They've been scoring when called upon. Just over the bar. Oh, a turnover here. As Girdler, one of the APs, scoops up the loose ball, and we got the offense back on the floor. Maddie Ice Wyman in the corner now with the swim move. Up top to Verutis, over to, with a big shot. Oh, Radbourne just missed that as it bounces back. Fitton coming out to play it. Definitely one of the strengths of this young goaltender is his ability to handle the ball outside of the crease and force the play back up to the floor. Wyman move it into the corner now. Shakes a defender, comes into the crease with a shot. Oh, crease violation. Fergus now with possession coming up, moving the ball up again with the speed. Justin Bolo with the ball. Passes it to the top. Great shot by Zach Cameron, but Fitton makes a save, and he looks a little worse for the wear. Just probably needs a couple of seconds to collect himself. These goalies are extremely padded, but as you can see, the ball movement from Fergus and a hard shot. Oh, No amount of padding can truly protect a goaltender. There are small pockets where they are susceptible to some hard shots that come at them like that. So hopefully Reed Fitton's going to be okay here. But looking again at this Fergus squad, like they have, as I said before, 2 players in the top 10 in scoring, Brett Harrison and Logan Cameron, averaging 4 points a game. They're really taking this team, this young Fergus team, to the next level. They're just slightly above Kent Radbourne in the scoring race. Reed's coming to the bench for a drink of water, collect his thoughts. As we see Andrew Chenier, doesn't appear that he's going to need to be coming into the game. No, Reed's good, he's going back in. You've got to be a special breed to play netminder in this sport. That is for certain. Colton Best with the ball. Colton's having a great second year. He's showing a tremendous amount of discipline. His first rookie year, spent a lot of time in the penalty box, but this year is truly turning over a new leaf with a higher level of discipline. Loose ball in the corner, Radbourne battling. Sorry, Smarty battling. Ryan Smart. Brett Harrison, as I referred to earlier, bringing the ball up the floor. Passing over, good save. And now the Wild with the ball coming out of their zone. Fergus bringing some forecheck in. They want to pin the Wild back, but they're moving the ball well. Ooh, bit of a high stick. Nagy's still running through it. Cuts into the middle. Loose ball. Matt Wyman picks it up. Pass missed to the middle by Fenoro, and Noah Nixon moves the ball up for the Thistles. Great pressure by the Wild. That's Hunter Schmidt applying the pressure in the neutral zone, caused a turnover. But the ball came back to Fergus. Here they come now. Shot. I don't know if that made it to Reed Fitton, but we'll be able to tell in a couple of days when the bruise shows up on the defenseman's leg. Great save by Reed again. Not showing any ill effects from that bruiser that he got earlier in the game, and the ball's coming off of the stick of a newcomer to the Wilmot Wild, number 52, Landon Wilwo. And Radbourne in the corner moves the ball along. Passes over to the and we have a possession change. Fergus will take over from here. Alex Batchley with the ball, passes off to Brett Harrison. Dangerous Brett Harrison with 55 points so far in the Junior C campaign for the Fergus Thistles. Here we have Adam Zister, one of the older rookies on the team. This is Mr. Zister's first year in Ontario Junior C Lacrosse. Unfortunately, his last year as well as he ages out. Very key component to the Wilmot Wild. Harrison with the ball, just waiting for the rest of his teammates to show up. Zach Cameron with the shot, and again, great save by Reed Fitton. Loose ball, and Nixon scoops it up, hands it off to his defender. Fergus moves the ball back up the floor. If Wilmot's going to have some success, they better not leave that gentleman open as they did there. Zach Cameron, like I said before, top 10 in the province for scoring. Possession to Wilmot. Bessie with the ball now, coming in on the left side. Takes it into the corner, waiting to see an open man. Cuts into the middle, shot. Good save by Noah Nixon. And Fergus coming out now on a fast break. Good change as we get the Wilmot defender on the floor. Shot, and they score. A 2-on-1 break after a great opportunity for Wilmot, and we are 1-0 Fergus. It shows how back and forth this game can be. You can bring the offense and have an excellent scoring opportunity at one end. The goalie makes a great save. Possessions gain, and they're back up the floor. Odd man rush, 2-on-1 break, and the Thistles were able to capitalize. Fergus with possession after the face-off. Back into the stick of Brett Harrison coming down the right side. Fergus really moving the ball around. Justin Below with a shot. And that is Layden Whitlow, the newcomer to the Wilmot Wild. Ooh, and we're going to have our first call of the game as Fergus gets called for a high stick. Justin Bolo gets called with a high stick on Tyson Jibb. That's going to bring on the power play, brought to you by Lori Teskey and Remax Solid Gold. Proud sponsors of the Wilmot Wild power play, which has been very effective this year. We've seen many different looks, and the Wild have reaped many benefits from their power play. Luke Fenoro, the veteran, bringing it up the floor, passes over to Radburn, back to the top. Over to Matty Ice. Oh, little bobble there, but Fenoro able to regather the ball. And a one-timer. Quick stick. It appeared to have gone in from here. We're going to have to wait and see on that replay. And we're going to see a holding call. Tyler Verutis wanted that ball badly, but tied up his man. And here we see on the replay now, again, the Wild moving the ball around, fantastic. No, clearly, that's a good save by Nixon. I thought we might have seen the top bar, but as a result, maybe some frustration from Tyler Verutis. Gets called for a holding. And we have some 4-on-4, and this can be dangerous, especially with two high-octane offense teams when you have that much more open floor space. We'll see some lacrosse creativity take place. Nice save by Reed from the Logan Cameron shot. And Fergus scoops up the loose ball, regains possession, moving the ball up the floor now. Logan Cameron with the ball, moves it back over to Brett Harrison. Another save by Fitton. And the captain scoops up the loose ball, and the Wild are moving out of their zone.
Today's winner of the Lions home comfort zone is Sean Coons and Krista. Please come downstairs to position.
Best moves in, and do we have a crease violation on that? Yes. Great shot attempt. More often than not can yield positive results. Ooh. And there was an altercation in the change box there. It looks like the Fergus Thistle player may have gotten tripped up. And Ryan Smart is going to hit the sin bin for 2. Have a long think about it. That change box is a touchy area. You don't want to make any contact with any player while in there. It's an automatic penalty, and the refs are more apt to call that than not call it. Players should be able to enter and exit the bench safely. And now we're going to see a 4-on-3 power play as we get more and more floor space opening up for these two teams. Fergus working the ball around. Stutter step. And Reed Fitton up to the task. Zach Cameron tried to deke him. And Landon Whitlow carrying the ball up. Taking on all comers as he, ooh, the ball does squirt loose. And now we have a breakaway. And Brett Harrison puts it away. Here we see the loose ball squirting out. Harrison picking it up, and he's not going to miss too many of these as Reed Fitton just narrowly misses that. Well-placed shot by Harrison. And Fergus gets the possession off the face-off. The ball is in Zach Cameron's stick here on the right side. He brings it back up to the top. Passing over to Adam Lance. Back up to the top into Brett Harrison's stick. Ooh, and that's just an odd shot from Adam Lance. Lances off Reed Fitton's elbow and into the net. The players could put so much English on this ball, it'll hit a body part or the floor or another player and not spin the direction that you're expecting. I think that's what we saw there. And Fergus is jumping out to a rather large lead here in the first period. 9:40 to go. Another face-off possession turning over to Fergus. Justin Below with the ball, passes off to Logan Cameron. Back over to Adam Lance. Fergus very casual with the ball, easily moving it along. Nixon coming out as it rolls down to the floor to keep the play moving. And a long distance shot, no problem for Reed Fitton as he scoops up the ball. And now he's under some pressure. We need some help back here from the defenders. And now a 3-on-0. Reed making the save. A little bit of confusion there. I don't know if the Wild were caught on a change. But now we have possession for the Wild as they move the ball up the floor. Best with the pass, just getting away from the Wild player. And Fergus regaining possession as they march back up the floor. .88 with the ball. Of course, that's Brett Harrison. Fergus still on the power play for another 2 minutes and 47 seconds. And a big shot from the point. Good save. Great save by Mr. Fitton as he's coming out to play the ball with support this time. And Jib coming up the right side. And he's greeted by two Fergus Thistles and brought to the floor in a possession change. Looks like a possible push-off call. It's been a while since we've seen the Wilmot Wild offense on the floor. These defensemen must be getting tired. Ooh, a quick stick, just misses the net. And Matt Wyman with the ball now. Lead pass to the captain, Liebold, who cannot handle that. And Fergus ball yet again. Justin Below moving the ball up the floor, passes off to Logan Cameron in the corner. He's eluding and we have a moving pick. In order to set a pick to free up your player, you need to have your feet set. You can't be moving. In this case, Below was clearly moving on Liebold, and the referee called a possession change. Finoro now with the ball, with two Thistles on him. Moving the ball into the corner now. Nagy dancing around. with 3 Fergus thistles on him. Gets around all 3, coming to the point. A shot and a save by Nixon. A great individual effort by Nagy. Kyle Detweiler with the ball now, passes off to Brett Harrison. The Thistles are moving up 3-0. Still on the power play with a minute to go in the power play. 6 minutes to go in the period. And here comes a shot. Just wide. And wild ball. Here we have Hunter Schmidt moving the ball up the floor. He is breaking away from both Thistles and bowling through the middle with a shot. And a save by Nixon. He hasn't been tested, but when he's getting shots, he's making saves. Wilmot will need to formulate a game plan to try and get through the armor of Noah Nixon. Adam Lance with the ball now. Sorry, Brett Harrison with the ball over to Adam Lance. Fergus with a quick stick. And it looks like Reed Fitton got a piece of that. Said, no way, Jose. Shot clock winding down to 4 seconds. And we will have a possession change. Good defensive stand there by the Wilmot Wild with 2 seconds left in the penalty. They'll kill the rest of that off. But we'll need to start mounting some offense if they hope to get back into this period. Best with the ball, passing over to Matt Wyman with a shot. Looks like it was blocked by the Fergus defender. That's going to leave a mark. Fenoro with the ball over to Wyman. Wyman hanging out at the left side here, looking for somebody to get open. A shot and he scores. Very patient Matt Wyman. And we have a 3-1 game with 5 minutes to go in the first period. Here we see Matt coming around the corner. Didn't like his options, just let a low shot at the feet of Nixon. Those are tough to save by any goaltender. And he scores his 6th of the year. Schmidt wins the face-off. Wild ball. Fenoro now passing it off to Nagy, who's bringing it up the right side. He is one sneaky dude. He eludes two Fergus defenders, puts it over his shoulder to make it 3-2. A great goal. Here we see Nagy fighting through 2 Thistle defenders, and his only option at this point is over the shoulder, and Nixon did not have a chance as that went in to tighten the gap. 3-2 with 4:50 left in the first period. Nixon with the ball now, moving the ball up to his defender, and Fergus bringing it out of their zone. Whoa. Justin Below with a pass to Nick Aikenson goes into the corner. We have a Fergus possession. Into the crease violation. It looks like Justin Boulot's momentum took him into the crease. Wild ball. Brett Liebold bringing it up now, passes off to Matt Wyman, one of the goal scorers from today. With a good pass. Wild ball in the corner, moving in low. Ooh, and just off Luke Fenoro's stick. Matt Wyman picks it up in the corner now. Dancing out with a low shot, and he scores his 2nd of the game. Matt Wyman says, no way, we're back in the game with his 2nd. It looked like an innocent shot coming out. Fergus couldn't get a body on him, and he just let a low shot rip and beat Noah Nixon. And we are tied 3-3 with 3:48 left to go in the first. Face-off coming down. Reed Fitton just bobbling it ever so slightly, but scooped up by the Wild defender, Adam Zister. Passing over to Luke Fenoro. Wilmot bringing the ball out now. Back to Oscar Bess. Moving it over to Tyler Berudis. Excuse me, Colton does. Fergus taking the ball now after the turnover. Thistle's moving the ball past mid-floor. Wide shot. And a jumping quick stick, but Reed Fitton up to the task as he hands it off to the rookie defenseman, Tyson Gibb. Nagy now carrying the puck down the right side. Sorry, the ball down the right side. Moving the ball now over to the left side as we get some bodies moving, hopefully getting open. Shot clock winding down to 2. It's going to be Fergus possession. As they take over, the captain is all over him. Brett Liebold as they move the ball back into the corner. Zach Cameron with the shot. Fitton with the save. And passes the ball off to Liebold, who's carrying the ball up. Passes over to Fenoro, the other assistant captain. To Berudis, the assistant captain, with a shot, and he scores! Tyler Berudis with a howitzer just in front of the dotted. And the Wild take the lead in what's proven to be a wild first period. Here we see Berudis just letting it rip, using that defender as a screen possibly. Nixon not being able to see much. But that is right in Tyler Berudis' wheelhouse. Coach Rick having a discussion with the refs. Possibly some clarification on some play previous to that goal. And now that the Wild can stay out of the penalty box, we're seeing what they're capable of doing when they get that offense on the floor. Randy Borghese with the ball, passing over to Radbourne. Radbourne last year playing with the Junior B Guelph Regals. Over to Berudis in the corner. To Nagy with a save by Nixon. A great scoring opportunity. Oh, and he's getting mugged in the middle there. And not even a possession call. That's interesting. Back to Berudis, who lets it go again. This time Nixon got a piece of it. But Tyler Nagy, not afraid to get into the mucky parts of the floor to score a goal. And in that instance, got double teamed and brought to the floor. Refs probably thought of a 50-50 call, and maybe they're saving it for later. But Berudis with the ball now at the top, passing back over to Nagy, who again is getting mugged by the defenseman. Ball pass over to Berudis. Fenoro with the shot, and Nixon making a save, but not controlling the rebound as Radbourne picks it up behind the net, looking for somebody to pass the ball to. Here we are, Matt Wyman just coming off the bench, passing over to Berudis. Fenoro just missing that pass narrowly. Possession to Fergus now. Nick Atkinson now with the ball coming up the right side. That's narrowly intercepted, but Adam Lance was able to hang on to the ball. Back to Atkinson, and Fitton with a great save. Preserving that lead for his team with 12 seconds to go in the first period. Randy Borghese taking on 3 Fergus Thistles. And the ball is moved. And that'll be the end of the first. Of a spirited affair. The last 2 minutes rather spirited with some hard body contact and checks. And you can tell that both these teams really want the 2 points. And Here we go to break. The end of the first period, it's 4-3 Wilmot Wild against the Fergus Thistles in a very important Western Conference match. Fergus sitting 3 points behind Wilmot in a very packed Western Conference. 2 very important points for the Thistles, and they are fighting hard for it. Wilmot coming off a huge game yesterday in Six Nations with the victory, securing first spot, tying themselves with Six Nations. But not far behind are Brantford and Fergus. You can tell by these highlights here that Fergus on this break, on this 2-on-1, moving the ball well, doing the things that they need to do to ensure that they're going to come out with the victory. The breakaway goal again by Brett Harrison, one of the top scorers in the province, and an odd one. But Reed Fitton, when called upon, is making huge saves for his team. They get out of that power play, let the Wilmot offense get on the floor, and this is what they can do. Nagy and Matt Wyman with some key markers, getting their team back tied up, and eventually taking the 4-3 lead. So we can expect more action coming in the second. Keys to the game brought to you by Jukasa Motor Speedway. For the Wilmot Wild is to stay disciplined and stay out of the penalty box. We've seen what can happen when they're in there. The Fergus Thistles power play is very potent and put some key markers up on the board. And I think for Fergus, they just need to stick with the game plan that their coach has delivered. They haven't strayed too far from it. Maybe tighten up the defensive end a little bit, as Wilmot's moving the ball quite freely in their defensive zone when they're not in the penalty box. So as we wrap up the intermission games here in Wilmot, we are minutes away from the start of the second period. And we're back at the Wilmot Rec Complex on a blistery Sunday Father's Day. And the Fergus Thistles and Wilmot Wild are locked into a 4-3 game. Key game for the Western Conference with Fergus 3 points behind. As you can see the standings, we have a tie up top between Six Nations and Wilmot with Brantford, Fergus, and Oakville not too far behind. And with the playoffs looming, key positioning is up for grabs between these teams. You obviously want to finish as high as you can in the standings and possibly avoid some tough matchups in the first and second rounds. So yesterday's game was a hard-fought two-goal victory for the Wilmot Wild in Six Nations. It was back and forth, just as the games always are between these two clubs, with Wilmot coming up with a hard-fought road victory to get them to 20 points. Wilmot still has some key dates with Oakville coming up and Halton. Our next home game is Halton, Sunday, June 4th, 3 p.m. here at the Wilmot Rec Center. It'll be our sponsors' VIP day here in Wilmot. Again, we want to see some, if the Fergus Thistles are going to see some success, they're going to want to tighten up their defensive zone and keep that offense, high-octane offense that they have on the floor. And right now, we'll take a break, and we'll come back to the second period here at Wilmot Rec Complex. And here we are back at the Wilmot Rec Complex to bring you more Kitchener Wild Wing Wild Lacrosse in the second period. Fergus is already on the floor as the Wild men take the floor now in what will be a spirited affair here in the second period. Wilmot is up 4-3. Some hard grinding to kill off some penalties in the first period. Fergus did take advantage on one. But once discipline arrived for the Wilmot Wild and they stayed out of the box, we got to see exactly what that high-octane offense can bring with some key markers by Matt Wyman and Mr. Nagy. And we are ready for the face-off as referee Phil Kluche brings the ball to center floor. Hunter Schmidt lining up for the Wilmot Wild. Fergus winning the face-off and taking the ball into their own end. Their offense takes the floor, bobbling the ball along their bench. Loose ball that just will not settle down. Reed Fitton bombing it over. Just missing Finoro with the breakaway pass. And the loose ball is behind the Fergus bench, scooped up by Fergus. And the Thistles are coming out of their zone. Alex Batchley with the ball, coming up the left end, waiting for the offense to take the floor. Logan Cameron now with the ball, moving over to the right side. Brett Harrison with the ball, cutting into the middle. Back to Cameron, who is eluding Brett Liebold. Justin Bubo, no goal. Once again, we have a crease violation and Wilmont ball. The captain moving the ball up to Finoro now, with handing off to Kent Radburn, or did he? Radburn letting it go. Ooh, just picking off the Fergus defender. Now the breakaway coming the other way. Reed Fitton denying the breakaway from Jonah White. Great save by Fitton. Wilmont ball now. Finoro passes off. The ball is in the left corner now, coming into the middle. Missed shot, and now Fergus with the ball. Offense takes the floor, moving the ball deep low. And he was stepping up for a big shot. Stuttered around the defenseman, but Reed Fitton was up for the task with a big save. Wilmont ball. Girdler, one of the APs, with a pass that just misses, but Wilmont was able to recover. And we have Finoro now with the ball up top. Looking for an open man, looking to get open himself with a shot. Coming off Nixon into the corner. Recovers his own rebound. Nope, Fergus has that ball. As it's a battle in the corner, and Fergus coming away with it. And moving it up now to Brett Harrison. Harrison with the ball with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Passing over to Logan Cameron. And Fergus working the ball in the left corner now. Justin Below trying a swim move. Gets around the defender, but is met in the middle. We have no goal. Reed Fitton with a save. Wilmont now bringing the ball out of their zone. Tyler Nagy on the right side. Tyler Nagy's stick skills are phenomenal. It's nearly impossible for a defender to get the ball away from him. Ooh, unless he gets a cross check like that. And the ball rolls down the floor, breakaway. And Fergus scores. Jonah White taking advantage of the loose ball and getting the breakaway with the defensive change being on the long side of the floor with no help for Reed Fitton. He was able to put it away. And Fergus ties this game up with 16 minutes to go in the second period. And Fergus with possession after the face-off now. We have Kyle Detweiler with the ball. Passing off, Logan Cameron with the ball, and the rest of the Fergus offense takes the floor. Zach Cameron now eluding his defenseman. Reed Fitton with the save. Landon Whitlow with the long bomb pass. Just missing the forward and bouncing out of bounds. Fergus ball. Logan Cameron now moving the ball deep into the Wilmont zone. Passing off to Zach Cameron with the ball now. Fighting for every inch. Lets a shot go. And out of bounds. Wilmont ball now. Brett Liebold passing off to the offense. Wilmont with the ball on the left side. Creating space. Matt Wyman moving across, passing off to Ryan Smart, who left the ball for Gridler. With 5 seconds left on the shot clock, we're going to need to see some action here. Smarty breaking up the play there. And Fergus regaining the loose ball. Trying for the Hail Mary pass to Brett Harrison. Unable to receive that, and Wilmont moving it back up. Nagy passing over. Rudis shoots and scores. Another cannon of a shot from beyond the dotted. Wilmont regains the lead 5-4 with 14.5 minutes to go in the second period. You can see Nagy just passing off, and the Thistles really providing a lot of space for Tyler Varudis. He's going to take that shot all the time. Face off now with Kent Radborn. And it is a botched face off with possession. Possession going to Wilmont as we wait for the ball. Tyler Varudis now bringing it from center. Swimming past the Fergus defender into the left. Pass off. Shot by Fenoro. Saved by Nixon. Loose ball going into the crease. And Nixon is able to scoop that up. Fergus now bringing the ball up the floor. Louis Ristoff to Justin Bulow. Ooh, and we have a wide open shot from Zach Cameron, but Fitton able to make the save and moving the ball over to Hahn. Hahn running the ball up the floor now. The 5-year veteran. Shot and scored by Matt Wyman. And just like that, the Wilmot Wild are up 6-4 with some key ball movement. Great save by Fitton, moving the ball up to his defender as we see here. Hahn passing off. Another pass from Brutus and a nice low shot by Matt Wyman. A scramble at center for the face-off, and Fergus gets the possession. Passing to a wide open Thistle. And the shot bouncing all the way to center. And there is a chase. Schmidt and Hahn are after the Thistle to scoop up the ball. He's able to get it moving up the floor now. Justin Below with the ball for the Thistles. Lets a shot go wide of the net. And the shot clock expires. We will have Wilmont ball. Wilmont is up 6-4 with 13 minutes to go in the second period. I'd like to take this time to thank our game day sponsors, New Hamburg Home Hardware and the Scranton Dram. Nixon with the save. Fergus bringing the ball up. Varudis providing some pressure. Carson Stevenson passes with a shot, and they get one past Reed Fitton. And Fergus pulls within one. So we'll see on the replay here how this broke down. Just a fantastic pass from Carson to Logan Cameron, who put a good move on Reed to get the ball behind him. Loose ball going deep into the Wilmont zone. Both teams going after it with reckless abandon. But Adam Zister came up with it before he lost his stick. The ball bounces over to center. Ooh. Kyle Detweiler with the ball now. Gaining possession for the Fergus Thistles. With 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Zach Cameron with the ball. Passing missed, going into the corner now. And we have a 30-second shot clock violation. Possession change. Nagy with the ball. Coming into the Fergus zone, passing over to Finoro. Oh, just missing with that. Nixon desperately getting over, and Nagy just missed the net. The ball now in Fergus's possession, coming across the center line. Louis Ristov passing off. Fergus back to the top of the point. Another shot, another save by Reed Fitton as the ball goes out of bounds. Fresh 30 for the Fergus Thistles with the ball in the Wilmot zone. Zach Cameron getting through the defense. Loose ball scooped up by Wilmot as they move forward. Brett Liebold with the ball. Passing off, just hard to handle. Follow the bouncing ball here. Hudson scooping it up. Back to Liebold with 10 seconds on the shot clock as they get into the Fergus zone. Going in deep to Ryan Smart. With 4 seconds left on the clock, the ball goes into the opposite corner. And a 30-second shot clock violation, and Fergus will take possession of the ball. Wilmot's going to be in tough if they're going to spend the first half of the shot clock in the neutral zone. They need to get the ball in deep so they can set up. Justin Below now with the ball coming into the Wilmot zone. Reed Fitton with the save. Off the Zach Cameron shot now. Logan Cameron with the shot. Logan moving the ball over to the right side, and we have a crease violation. Reed Fitton just showing a little worse for the wear. I didn't quite see what happened there. Looks like he may have been clipped by a shot or possibly a player coming into the crease. Maybe we can pick that up on a replay. He's pointing to his chin and his cheek area. And Dan Liebold is calling for the substitution. Here we see Fergus just moving the ball around. Cameron with the shot. It looked innocent enough. I didn't see the ball hit him. We'll have to get some more information from Dan Liebold as he's escorting Reed Fitton off the floor. Dan, of course, longtime Kitchener Ranger trainer. He is the best in the business. These players are lucky to have a trainer the stature of Dan, and we are going to see Andrew Chenier come into the game with the Wilmot Wild up 6-5. So replay will show as Andrew Chenier warms up. You can see the ball just coming over. Oh, and Reed taking it right on the mask. As I said before, no amount of protection can truly protect a goaltender 100% from the shots at the velocity that they're coming at from these Junior C players at hundreds of miles an hour. We can only hope that Reed's going to be okay as the Wild are fighting for a loose ball in the corner, left corner. Fergus picks up the ball, and little extracurricular activities. That's going to cost Jonah White 2 minutes in the bin. And that will bring the Wilmot Wild to a power play. Of course, our power play for the Wilmot Wild is always brought to you by Lori Teskey and Remax Solid Gold. Oh, check that. We have the referees decided to take both players, so we'll see some 4-on-4 action. Fergus with possession at the top. Brett Harrison moving the ball around now. Over to Justin Below. Hunter Schmidt causing some disturbance in the neutral zone there. Justin Blow again with the ball for Fergus, bringing it in the zone. And the defenders trade off. Hunter Schmidt back on him. Again causing a loose ball. Chenier with a save. Oh. Carson Stevenson is making friends in the offensive zone with a high stick to Adam Zister. And Hunter Schmidt going to the box at the same time. Things are starting to heat up here in the second period as the penalty box is slowly filling up with the 9 minute mark, with the Wild up 6-5 here at the Wilmot Rec Complex. Kent Radbourne with possession at the center dot, brings it in. 3-on-3, Luke Fenoro dropping low for Matt Wyman. Radbourne up at the top of the shot, and Nixon making a save. I don't know if that was a save or self-defense. That shot had some torque on it. Chenier making a key save, and the Wilmot Wild are bringing it back up the floor. Hudson now looking for somebody to pass off to. Smarty give and go. Hudson with a shot, he scores! And if I am not mistaken, that will be Mr. Hudson's first goal in the Ontario Junior C, with a fantastic give and go with the assist to Ryan Smart. Here we see Ryan Smart giving it back to Hudson, putting it low, and Nixon not having any opportunity to make that save. And the Wild go up 7-5, still going 3-3 here in the second period. Ref blows possession to the Wilmot Wild. And as you can hear Mr. Norris in the background, that is Hudson's first goal in the Ontario Junior C Lacrosse League. First of many, hopefully here with the Wilmot Wild. Nagy coming out of the zone, getting mugged by the Fergus Thistle, still gets the ball, but Fergus picking up and coming out of their zone. Wilmot coming out with some defensive. Liebold now applying pressure to the Fergus Thistle. The ball goes over to Brett Harrison. 15 left on the shot clock. Ball back up to the top to Zach Cameron. Back to Harrison. Gibbs is on him and working him to the outside. Coming into the middle now. Chenier with a save. The ball goes into the corner. Fergus recovers the rebound. Logan Cameron now. Chenier with another save. Oh! Coming in a little bit high. After a high hit, the Fergus Thistles were able to regain the ball. Zach Cameron coming in all alone and beats Chenier to pull within one. 7-6 with 7 minutes to go. Liebold now, that's where we see on the replay, gives up the ball, able to get it to Harrison, and he does not make a mistake. He beats Chenier. Sorry, Cameron, not Harrison, excuse me. Back and forth action here at the Wilmot Rec Complex. It would look like we need to get some maintenance on the floor here. It can be very dangerous when you have some moisture on the floor, whether it's player sweat or water. Regardless of the footwear they wear, they can slip and slide. As we get that tended to, we're back to 4-on-4 with only 12 seconds to go in the penalties to the Wild and to the Thistles, and then we'll be back to 5-on-5 action. Ryan Fitton providing the maintenance work there, and we are good to go with 7:27 to go in the second. Wilmot up 7-6. Fergus with the ball now, passing off to the point. Brett Harrison waiting for the rest of the offense to get on the floor after the penalties have expired. A long shot off the post. Coming all the way back down to the floor. Nixon coming out to play. Moves the ball up to his forward, Logan Cameron. And a fresh 30 for Fergus. With the ball on the right side now, Harrison to the middle for Carson Stevenson. Coughs up the ball. Schmidt with the ball now. Hunter Schmidt gets a shot off, but Nixon with the save. And Fergus bringing the ball up now. Logan Cameron along the left side. Loose ball now scooped up, or is it? No, we're fighting for it here. And a wild ball coming out of the zone. Hawthorne, one of the many Wilmot Wild rookies that we've seen this year, loses possession back to Fergus Thistles as they're coming into the zone. Fergus passing over and Harrison back on the floor. Moves the ball over to Justin Boulot. That could have been called a moving pick as Hawthorne was brought down, but the ball coughed up. Leibold scoops up the loose ball and is moving it up the floor. He's got a man open in the center, and he gets it to him. Oh, but he is upended. And we are going to see a Fergus Thistle penalty for a high stick. That will bring on the Wilmot Wild power play, brought to you by Lori Teskey at Remax Solid Gold, proud sponsor of the power play for the Wilmot Wild. This year, the Wild's power play has been proven very effective on two lines. Being able to move the ball and score at will. We'll see if that holds true. Radbourne back up to Fenoro now. Fenoro over to Radbourne. And a quick stick, and Tyler Berudis puts it away. It is that type of effective ball movement that will get the power play on the board. Fenoro and Radbourne moving the ball very effectively, and a quick pass to Tyler Berudis, who puts on the quick stick away with relative ease. And the Wild regain their 2-goal lead, and they are up 8-6. Scrambled face-off. Loose ball recovered by the Wilmot Wild as Hahn runs it up the floor. Braden Hahn, as I said earlier, a 5-year veteran of the Wilmot Wild. They do have many players that are aging out this year. So there is a sense of urgency to get back to that Meredith Cup as they did back in 2016. And we have Wyman with the ball, passing off to Fenoro, can't handle the pass. Gridler providing some pressure, and Smart as well. And Chenier makes a save, but we are going to see, that will be Landon Whitlow, the newcomer to the Wilmot Wild, hits the bin for 2 minutes. And we will have a look at the Fergus Thistle's power play, which we haven't seen since the first period. Just cross-check from behind. Luckily, the Fergus Thistle player seems to be okay, and the power play takes over from here. Fergus moving the ball around, coming back up to the top. Shot just wide of the net. And Wilmot regains possession. The ball comes up to Brett Leibold. And Leibold passes off to Tyler Nagy, to Tyler Berudis, and lordy, lordy, we got a shorty. Great ball movement. Starting from the other zone, Liebold passing to Nagy, getting it to the wide open Tyler Verutis, who, as I said before, will not make that mistake when alone. I should have mentioned the penalty to Whitlow is a double minor. So Wilmot will still be on the penalty kill. Fergus with the 3 minute 17 seconds left in this power play. 3:44 left on the clock in the second period with Wilmot up 9-6. Fergus moving the ball around from the top. A quick stick. Chenier getting a piece of it as it comes around. Logan Cameron moving the ball, missing the net. As it rolls to the other end, we are going to see a possession change on the shot clock. Kent Radborn with the ball as Phil Kluche blows it in play. Loses it, but Wilmot is able to regain possession. Matt Wyman taking a look at the clock as he is in the left corner avoiding the defenders. Fergus able to cause a loose ball. Here comes Finoro. And Fergus maintains possession and moves it up the floor. Kyle Detweiler with the ball now. Handing off to Justin Boulot. Leaves it for Brett Harrison with 18 left on the shot clock. Fergus moving the ball around. Back to the point. Boulot with the ball, cross crease. Chenier closes the door on that. A great save. Colton Best now with the ball. Keeping it low, Ryan Smart in the corner, 13 on the shot clock. And Smart just throws it with the shot clock expiring deep into the Fergus zone and allows for a change. 1:39 left on the power play, 2 minutes to go in the second period. Fergus with the ball on the power play. So far stymied with a new unit coming out. A shot rings wide. Well past Chenier and the ball bounces past center. Fergus is able to regain possession with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Solid pressure from the Wild defense. Changeover. Chenier passes up to Braden Hahn, who runs it out of his zone. Hahn passing the ball over to Nagy. Nagy with 2 defenders draped on him. Gets through. Shot. Oh. We've seen that time and time again. Just misses. Liebold scoops up the rebound. We have 23 seconds left on the shot clock. With a shot, Liebs and Nixon making a bobble save. Fergus with possession with a minute to go in the second period. 30 seconds left on the power play. Fergus again moving, staying on the outside at the top. Letting a shot go well wide of the net. Another one that's bouncing past center, and Liebold is chasing after it. He could have a breakaway. Here comes the captain with a shot. Nixon with the save. That's a fine bit of hustle out of the captain to get to the loose ball. Logan Cameron coming onto the up with the ball, and the penalty is killed. Oh, but not before Zach Cameron let a ripper go from well beyond the dotted that beats Chenier. It was a solid penalty kill up to this point, as we see Fergus just dropping it back to the top of the slot, and Zach Cameron just letting it go. Fergus not going away. They pulled back within 2 with 24 seconds left on in the second period. Another scramble face-off won by Fergus, and we have a timeout call here at the Wilmot Rec Complex. We are 9-7 Wilmot Wild over the Fergus Thistles with 18 seconds to go in the second period. And some of the keys to the game that I talked about earlier, we're seeing from Fergus. They're not going quietly into the night, that is for certain. They're sticking with their offensive plan. They were able to get a goal, albeit not on the power play, just as the power play expired. Wilmot is tightening the clamps on the defensive zone, making it difficult for them. But that high-octane offense is roaring through, that's for sure. As we see Zister and Schmidt, Hahn, Chenier, and Wildman get back into their zone. It will be Fergus ball. Adam Lance at the top at the center dot. They have Nixon on the bench, so they will have the extra attacker for the next 18 seconds. Lance takes a look at the clock. They are waiting for a true last shot opportunity here as they move the ball around. Loose ball, missed pass, and that will do it for the second period. Solid defense by the Wild to forego that extra man. And the Wild will take a 9-7 lead going into the third period. And we'll take a break, and you'll see us back after these messages. Welcome back to the Wilmot Rec Complex on this sunny Sunday, Father's Day. Wilmot Wild are holding a 2-goal lead. 9-7 over the Fergus Thistles. In a second period that was again full of action and some activities that sports such as lacrosse will bring. The penalty box started filling up, but both teams were up for the task. If we can skip to some highlights from the second period, we'll see some goals. One that just bounced beyond Reed Fitton from Fergus, and then Wilmot answering back immediately. Verutis with the howitzer from well beyond the dotted. Beats Nixon to regain the lead. And some good ball movement here for Matt Wyman. But one of the highlights I thought was Hudson's first goal of his junior C career. We have many rookies on this Wilmot squad: Jibbs, Schmidt, Weber, Drismansky, Kuntz, Hudson. And they're all playing key roles for our Wilmot Wild in what could be a big year, hopefully with a deep Meredith Cup run, as we see a number of key players aging out. Ryan Smart, Randy Borges, Tyler Verutis, Zister, Finoro, the captain, Leibolds, and Andrew Chenier will all be aging out. So it's it's a now mentality for the Wilmot Wild. They want to have that same run that they had in 2016, taking them deep into the Meredith Cup, where they lost to the Clarington Shamrocks. So again, some key points though, moving forward into the third period, we want to see Wilmot maintain that pressure in the offensive zone, continue to try their best to stay out of the penalty box and limit the amount of power play opportunities Fergus will have, because we've seen that they're capable of scoring on the power play as well. And for Fergus, I think they need to really start putting the press on. They need to start playing some desperate lacrosse, down by 2 goals. Wilmot is not going to roll over and let this game slip away from them. If they want to take it, they're going to have to take it by force. And we'll go to break, and we'll see you for the start of the third period. Welcome back to the Wilmot Rec Center. Again, your Wilmot Wild holding a 2-goal lead, 9-7 over the Fergus Thistles. I'm Jason Chenier. Welcome back. We're still awaiting word on the status of Reed Fitton. We're hoping he's going to be okay. Reed's enjoying a great year in his second year with the Wilmot Wild. He's holding down a 6.43 goals against average. That gives him 4th best in the province. Andrew Chenier, his teammate, is just behind him at 6.83. So once again, what we've always seen here in Wilmot is a very effective goalie tandem. There's no bona fide starter that runs with this team. It's goalie by committee, and when you have a goalie tandem like Reed Fitton and Andrew Chenier, the team's going to be in decent shape. So we'll wait on word to see how Reed's going to do. Aside from that, we need to ensure, though, that our forwards keep their pedal to the floor and keep the offense moving, because a 2-goal lead can quickly disappear in this Ontario Junior C Lacrosse League. As quickly as they got it, it can disappear. So hopefully moving forward, we'll see some more goals and some tighter D from the Wilmot Wild, because we know that the Fergus is going to bring it. With the standings the way they are, it's do or die time for Fergus, with the playoffs looming right around the corner. And with the Wilmot Wild, this can solidify their first place spot. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the start of the third period here at the Wilmot Rec Complex. Welcome back to the Wilmot Rec Complex for Kitchener Wild Wing Wilmot Wild lacrosse action. Your Wildmen take the floor, led to the floor by equipment manager Tony Borghese. The Wild are hanging on to a 2-goal lead against their nemesis, the Fergus Thistles, who are also just taking the floor now. And we are going to see 20 minutes of solid Ontario Junior C lacrosse action here with two very important points up for grabs for both teams. Andrew Chenier stays between the pipes for the Wild. Still waiting on word from Reed Fitton. Hunter Schmidt getting ready for the face-off against Kyle Detweiler. And the Wild take possession after a scramble. Luke Finoro moves the ball across the floor. Back to Finoro now, coming up the left side. Matt Wyman, who's had a very impactful game for the Wild. Loose ball, sorry. Ryan Smart managed to get a shot off of that. But Fergus regains possession and is bringing it back up the floor. Nick Aikenson now passing it over to the left side. And a scramble for the loose ball. There's bodies everywhere as Jib couldn't get a handle on it. Fergus now regains possession, back to the top with 5 on the shot clock. Lets one go, and it gets past Chenier. And very early into the third period, the Fergus Thistles pull within 1, 9-8. Fergus just given lots of room to move. It looks like it went off Chenier's lower body and hit the top corner. Not a great deal of pressure coming from the Wilmot defense as Fergus was allowed to get in and get that shot off. Wild winning the face-off. Brandon Hahn carrying it in deep. Passing back to Matt Wyman. Wilmot moving the ball well now. Over to Tyler Brutus, who lets it go, and a save by Nixon. Fergus with the ball now coming out of the zone. With speed. Passes the ball off to Brett Harrison. With 15 left on the shot clock, Harrison operating from the right side now, with Leibold on him. Passing the ball off. The ball moves over to Logan Cameron on the left side. Whitlow causing a disturbance over there. Ooh. And Logan Cameron with a long shot that I'm sure Andrew Chenier wishes he had back. I think he let that shot go from Baden. And we see Andrew Chenier just maybe not set, not ready for that one. And we have a tie game. 2 quick goals by the Fergus Thistles have got them back into this one. Hard-fought face-off here between Radbourne, and he scoops it up. A loose ball scramble. Verutis gets the ball now, brings it in deep. Lets one rip off the post, just narrowly missed that. Fresh 30 for Wilmot now, as Matt Wyman moves the ball over to Tyler Verutis. Finoro with the ball, and 2 Fergus Thistles draped all over him. Verutis not getting a lot of free space, trying to generate some. Moves the ball over to Matt Wyman. Wyman cutting into the middle. Just losing the ball, and 2 seconds left on the shot clock. We are going to see a possession change as Fergus with some tough D. Not giving the Wilmot Wild too much room to work with in their zone. Fergus now, Nick Aikenson bringing the ball up. He's met by Hudson. Hudson working on Zach Cameron. Chenier with a save. Wilmot with the ball now, running it out of his zone. Pass over to Tyler Nagy. Nagy one-on-one gives the ball to Radbourne, who shoots, and Nixon gets a piece of it and goes out of bounds. Wilmot ball. Radbourne with the ball on the left side. Moves it low to Finoro. Finoro can't get a clean shot off. Ooh, we got a high shot. And a change of possession as Fergus gets the ball. Fergus now moving the ball up the floor, waiting for the offense to join in. Cameron now with the shot, or sorry, with the pass. The shot, Chenier with the save. Gibbs picking up the loose ball, and with speed, he'll bring it up and march it up the floor. Hand the ball off to Matt Wyman. Wyman carrying it in. Putting it low to Verutis. Verutis now cutting back into the middle. Radbourne with a shot. He scores. Kent Radbourne. Effective ball movement by the Wild. Kent Radbourne is the recipient of a beautiful pass, and he does not make a mistake as we see Wyman and Verutis moving the ball. Radbourne creating some open space for himself and lets a shot rip at the dotted. Beats Nixon and regains the Wilmot Wild lead with 15:50 left to go in the game. Fergus winning the face-off, and he is away. Chenier with the save. Zach Cameron getting away from that face-off scrum quite effectively and getting the shot off. Zister creating a rare turnover, gave the ball away, and Fergus has possession. Little confusion there. Nixon came to the bench. He thought there might have been a delayed call. Loose ball. With possession going to the Wilmot Wild. Verutis with the ball on the left side now. Beautiful pass to Radbourne. Sorry, check that to Nagy over his shoulder. We've seen that before. As Tyler Nagy is having a great game. We see Verutis moving the ball and Nagy just dropping it over his shoulder. Not much of a chance for Nixon. Kind of a last-ditch desperation effort to get a piece of body on it. And the Wilmot Wild regain their 2-goal lead. It is 11-9 with 15 minutes to go in the game. Do not change that channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to come down to the end. Braden Hahn recovering the faceoff over to Adam Zister. To Kent Radbourne. Whoa. And it looks like we're going to get a penalty as Louis Ristov with a check from behind. And that will be of the 4-minute variety. So we have a double minor to Ristov. The Wilmot Wild are going to enjoy a 4-minute power play or less. With the ball in Luke Finoro's stick over to Radbourne, back to Finoro. Top of the point in the shooter position. Here comes Radbourne with a shot, and it looked like Nixon just got a piece of it. And Fergus coming out down the floor. Ooh, and Finoro is going to get called for a high stick. That Fergus player was beating him on the left side. And Finoro, as we see here, just getting a piece a little bit high, coming off the shoulder and making contact with the Fergus Thistle. So there goes that power play. And we are going to have some 4-on-4 action. This floor is going to be wide open. Fergus with the ball, Justin Boulot moving it deep to Brett Harrison. Braden Hahn watching Logan Cameron. Harrison behind the net, looking for some open space with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Lets one go. Chenier with a save. Oh, and a loose ball. Possession change as Liebold takes one in the chops. Possession, Wilmot Wild. with 14 seconds to go in the game. Liebold now waiting for the ref to blow it in. Here he goes. Looking to shake his defender. Zach Cameron couldn't contain him. The pass goes in. Wild pass, Ryan Smart couldn't control. Matt Wyman now with the ball in the left corner. Passing the ball up to Rudis, who lets it go. Hits Nixon. Rebound coming out. And the ball coming in deep to Tyler Barudis. Barudis letting it go again, and Nixon making a great save and pushes the ball out of bounds. Wilmot ball with a fresh 30. Wyman with the ball now again on the left side. Moving the ball over. Pass in tight. Off the wall, off Nixon and in. Oh my. You, as a goalie, you hate to see that happen. You work so hard for every save and a lucky bounce. But if I'm not mistaken, that is the call-up earning his first goal. I'm sure he'll have a better story to tell on his second goal. Nonetheless, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And right now the Wilmot Wild are up by 3. Four on 4 for the next 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Radburn in the face-off circle. Fergus coming up with the ball. The ball coming in into the left corner. Liebold on top of the Fergus player who squeaks through and puts it in the net over Chenier's right shoulder. Justin Boulot, who's having a relatively good game for Fergus, just manufacturing some offense here, as we see. Not taking no for an answer, gets past the defenders and pops it right over Chenier's top right shoulder. Fergus pulls within 2. Scrambled face-off going deep into the Fergus zone as Wyman presses. Fighting for the loose ball, Fergus picks it up. Ryan Litt with the ball for Fergus. Passing off. The ball is deep in the right zone now. Crease, Chenier gets a piece of it, but a crease called nonetheless. And Wilmot will take possession of that. Randy Borghese with the ball, moving it up. Tyler Nagy garnering a lot of attention. Shot just misses the net as the ball bounces out. Chenier coming out to play it. Tyler Barudis in tow, takes the ball from Chenier and brings it back up with 10 on the shot clock. Barudis swimming past, lets a shot go, blocked by the Fergus defender, and there's a violation of the shot clock. Fergus possession. Tyler Barudis trying to strip the ball. No luck as he goes off to the bench, allowing a defensive player on. Then Hudson created a turnover. Here he is on a breakaway. Here comes Hudson with a move, shoots and just misses. He had Nixon bite on the first move, but couldn't put it away. Now Fergus coming back with some speed, turning away. Ball going into the right side for Harrison. Harrison moving it back to the top. Shot. Chenier getting a piece of that as it goes into the corner. Loose ball up at the top. Brandon Hahn taking the body on Logan Cameron, and he de-gloved him. Solid body contact by the Wilmot Wild. Here we have Harrison with the ball at the top, fresh 30. Trying to free him up, and Chenier just slows it down by grabbing that loose ball. Passes it off to the captain, who's going to trot it up the floor. Ooh, he's met by 3 thistles. And they cause the turnover. Harrison with the loose ball now. He waits for the rest of his Thistle offensive mates to join him. And we are back to 5-on-5 action. Shot hitting the end boards and bouncing all the way to the front. Fenoro chases it down, but it gets knocked out of his stick. It's deep in the Fergus zone. Fenoro picks it back up, passes over to Radbourne, but we have a crease violation. Radbourne hustling back now. Chenier with a solid save. It looked like Zach Cameron had him beat, but he brought his free hand up and denied. A little bit of energy for the Wilmot Wild as the newcomer, Landon Whitlow, now with the ball. Ooh. With 4 Fergus Thistles on him, shoots and scores, and he's having a conversation with Brett Harrison. They're talking about the effectiveness of that shot and how it was able to beat Mr. Nixon, no doubt. We see Whitlow doing the lion's share of the workload, coming through 4 Fergus Thistles and putting it over Nixon's shoulder. Harrison, again, not enjoying that. Took a bit of a chop at him, and he's in the penalty box as a result. And the goal goes up on the board, and Wilmot Wild are up 13-10, and will enjoy a 2-minute power play with 9.5 minutes to go. Coach Rick is having a conversation with the ref. Typically after a goal scored and there's a penalty that ensues, the possession is given to the non-penalized team. It looks like the referee wants to pull ahead with a face-off. Once again, the Wilmot Wild would like to thank their title sponsor, Kitchener Wild Wing, as well as their game sponsors, New Hamburg Home Hardware and the Scranton Dram, where you can always go for a beautiful black and tan before the game. Keys to the game were brought to you by Jukasa Motor Speedway. And as always, the power play is brought to you by Lori Teskey from Remax Solid Gold. So they are going to go with a face-off, even though a penalty was assessed. Radbourne digging in deep, wins the draw directly to a Fergus Thistle. Fergus now, odd man, ooh, and he just couldn't handle that pass. Nick Aikenson with the ball in the corner. Couldn't handle the pass that was coming in from his teammate. Letting a shot go, Chenier with the save. And we're getting some pushing and shoving going on here by 51 of the Fergus Thistles. Typically what we see when we get these two teams matched up. Wyman now passing the ball over to Fenoro. Fenoro at the top with 1:20 left in this power play. Moves the ball over to Radbourne, back to Fenoro. Just waiting for their opportunity. The play gets called out. Back to Radbourne, who lets it rip, and he scores. A blistering shot from Kent Radbourne. And the Wilmot Wild power play continues to roll. So we see Nagy on the replay passing it to Radbourne, who just let her rip. And that makes it 14-10 for your Wilmot Wild with 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go. That power play was brought to you by Lori Teskey, Remax Solid Gold. Wild Landon Whitlow is just getting mauled by the Fergus Thistles as he fights to get the ball back now. Adam Zister making things difficult for Ryan Litt to enter the zone. He has a knack for doing that. Fergus enters the zone with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Fergus with the ball and Chenier with the save gives them the fresh 30. Another save by Chenier. This time Wilmot coming up with the ball. Adam Zister waiting for some support. Oh! It looks like the ref's got his arm in the air. Chenier chugs to the bench for the extra attacker. Here comes Radbourne. and airborne pass did not drop into the stick of Tyler Nagy as the Fergus Thistle player intercepted. But this will bring another power play for the Wilmot Wild. As always, brought to you by Lori Teske and Remax Solid Gold. Wilmot enjoying a 4-goal lead with 7:42 left in the game. This is far from over, so it would be key for them to be able to get another marker on the board during this power play. We have the same players on the floor, the #1 power play unit, and Fergus causing a loose ball and recover. Fenoro on top of the Fergus player breaking in as he pulls up and waits for reinforcements. That is Kyle Detweiler passing off to the Fergus player. Fenoro staying on top of him. The ball gets to the point to Detweiler. With 10 left on the shot clock, lets a shot go. Chenier with the save. And another. As the captain trots out of the zone. It can be a difficult task when called upon to come in for an injured player in the goalie position. Chenier's done his best to keep his team in it, as the offense continues to put markers on the board. With 50 seconds left in this power play, we have a possession change and Fergus will get the ball. They move it up, but not before Tyler Verutis made things very difficult, nearly causing a turnover. Loose ball recovered by Whitlow, excuse me. Oh! Whitlow absorbing some body contact, and Logan Cameron would probably not make that decision again. And we have a penalty assessed, 2 penalties assessed. As we wait for the referee and the timekeeper to get everything back on, we'll see Whitlow just laying the body on Logan Cameron, holding onto the ball as three Thistles were trying to take it from him. It will be, again, another power play for the Wilmot Wild, brought to you by Lori Teske at Remax Solid Gold. We have a 5-on-3 for the next 20 seconds. So with the 5-on-3, we have Matt Wyman staying high. Verutis with a shot. Ooh, and Nixon just got lucky. His defenseman bailed him out there. Fergus brings the ball up the floor. Fergus gets a man out of the box. There's now a 5-on-4 power play. And the shot misses the net. Kyle Detweiler now hanging onto that ball behind the net. Gets it up to the point, just over top of Harrison's. And Hawthorne, with the ball blown in, passes over to Radbourne. Wilmot now moving the ball along. Cross crease. And not clear on what happened there. Maybe Tyler Nagy stepping into the crease to get that ball, as Fergus just bombs it down the floor. And Wilmot will gladly scoop that up and march it back into the offensive zone with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third period. Fenora over to Radbourne. Radbourne, quick stick over to Verutis, who had an opportunity to shoot, chose to get it over to Nagy. Nagy returned the favor, and Verutis puts it in the net. Some excellent ball movement by the 4 Wildmen that were on the floor for this. We see some unselfish play by Tyler Verutis trying to get the ball back. There's the goal. Nagy returning the ball to Verutis, but before that, Verutis had an opportunity at an open net, but chose to pass over to Nagy. Didn't quite work out. Nagy gave it right back to him. We have a 5-goal lead here at the Wilmot Rec Complex. And the referees are still trying to sort out who stays in the box and who's coming out. It looks like Wilmot will still be up for the next 57 seconds. It is a scorcher of a day here in Wilmot Township. 33 degrees outside, and this heat has got to be having an impact on these players. We're starting to see some tired legs already. I can sure tell you this announcer is getting thirsty himself. Kyle Detweiler with the ball now. Fergus bringing it in up the middle. Justin Boulot. Spots a wide open. Zach Cameron, but Chenier makes the save. Just closes his leg against that far post to deny Cameron. Radburn with the ball now. Trotting it up the floor, giving it up to Luke Finoro. The power play working through over to Wyman, who gets the ball. Finoro with a quick stick, but nothing happening there. Nixon denied. Scrambling loose ball recovered by the Thistles. With 3:46 to go. Fergus waiting for the rest of the offense to come onto the floor. And most of that offense today has gone through Justin Boulot and Brett Harrison. Harrison with the ball now, lets a shot go that misses the net. And the ball bounces back to the center with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Chenier just missing that loose ball. And we will have a turnover due to shot clock violation. Here we go. Young Fitton passing the ball back to Radborn. Verutis getting past the defenseman. Ooh, knocked down in the corner. Fighting for that loose ball now. Verutis and Wyman. Wyman coming up with that loose ball. Letting a shot go, just missing the net. Back to Radborn. Nixon with the save. Leaving the ball for his defenseman to move up the floor with 2:41 to go. That is Brock Holscher. Gives the ball to Brett Harrison. Harrison moving the ball over to the left side. Logan Cameron now back to Harrison. Harrison getting past the defender, letting a shot go. Goes out of play. Wilmot Wild ball. We're beginning to see some frustration mount with the Fergus Thistles. As the clock winds down, and every second they're seeing an opportunity go past. They need some offense, and they need it badly. Oh, and this one still unclear how that made it in, but it looks like Tyler Nagy's got another one. Upping this lead to 6 goals. Here we see on the replay, just coming in. Maybe we won't see how that happened. It looked like it just came off the tip of his stick and went in. Maybe an unplanned shot, but to be good, you got to get the bounces. And Tyler Nagy is good. And Chenier, ooh, denying. Zach Cameron again on the breakaway. Randy Borghese with the ball now. Passing over. Here comes Matt Wyman. Wyman having a great game on offense. Over to Luke Finoro. Radborn with the ball. Just taking it in the chops from the Fergus player. Fergus causing the turnover and bringing up 2-on-1. Finoro's back. Here comes a shot. Chenier denied twice. Second player appeared to be in the crease. But we have a Wildman down. Looks like Luke Finoro coming across to break up that play may have gotten injured. As we see, the player scoops up the loose ball. Oh, and it appears his left ankle may have gotten rolled up underneath the Fergus player. You hate to see that. Luke Fenor is having a fantastic year this year. Being a leader upon this team, he was given the assistant captaincy in his last year of junior eligibility. We hope this is just going to be some ice, and we'll see Luke back on the floor for our next home game, Sunday, June 24th, versus the Halton Hills Bulldogs. Of course, Wilmot will see some action before that against the Oakville Buzz, who will try to stay in the top 4 positioning of the Western Conference in the Ontario Junior C Lacrosse Loop. And it looks like just we're going to have a draw at center, as possession was not certainly clear. Radbourne digging in deep. Fergus with the ball. And that is Zach Cameron again with the ball, and just mobbed by the Wilmot Wild as Whitlow now bringing the ball out. He has an up man, and he gets the ball to him. Here comes Tyler Nagy. Nixon with a save. Oh, crease call regardless. Whitlow is showing some promise here with some hard work and grit, working hard on the loose balls. Unfortunately, though, he's been getting called for a roughing penalty, and that will give the Fergus Thistles a power play for the last 46 seconds of this game. Wilmot Wild up 16-10. Fergus working the ball around now. Even though it may not make a difference in the result of the game, they sure would like to get one more marker on the Wilmot Wild and Andrew Chenier. Logan Cameron scoops up the loose ball. Oh, but coughs it up. And Randy Borges coming down the left wing. Getting mauled. Oh, and high shot in front of the referee. Clearly up for debate on the legality of that hit. Randy's okay as he's walking away. And the Fergus Thistles will take their lumps and head up Highway 6 home to Fergus as the Wilmot Wild win this very important game 16-10. But it was not without casualties, as Reed Fitton's health and Luke Fenoro's health remains uncertain. We hope for a speedy recovery for both of those Wildmen. And another hard-fought battle between two rival franchises on this cooker of a day here in Wilmot Township. Yep. And our player of the game, sponsored by New Orleans Pizza, will be Matt Wyman. And here are some of the clips from Matt's offensive output today. Just working the corner hard, finding his spots, creating his offense, and letting the shot go. Matt, again, working out, not afraid to go into those hard-fought battle places to generate his own offense. The type of teammate that will share the ball. And last year, Matt was assigned a difficult task of a defensive responsibility, and he took it upon himself as a good teammate to make the most of that situation. I think it made him a more well-rounded player, that's for certain. We're seeing a very effective Matt Wyman this year in the Ontario Junior C Lacrosse Loop. Once again, the Wilmot Wild beat the Fergus Thistles 16-10 here at the Wilmot Rec Complex. I'm Jason Chenier. I'd like to thank our game sponsor, our title sponsor, Wild Wing in Kitchener, our game day sponsors, Home Hardware and Scranton Dram in New Hamburg. Keys to the Game are brought to you by Jukasa Motor Speedway, and as always, the power play by Lori Teskey and Remax at Solid Gold. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Next home game for the Wilmot Wild will be June 24th, 3 p.m. here at the Wilmot Rec Center versus the Halton Hills Bulldogs. Happy Father's Day, everybody.